Hello and welcome to the Rev It Up podcast, helping entrepreneurs fill up their tanks, crank up the RPMs, and put the pedal to the metal until they cross that finish line. Hello, I'm Jess, Tiffany. Ready, set, go. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. Super excited to be here today with a good friend named Joe Meyers. Joe is a digital marketing strategist of Dog TV, and they're in 130 million homes, and he's going to tell us a little bit about how dogs don't see in black and white. They see in hues of different colors. So we'll get that information from him in a minute here. So Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to talk to you and your audience and share any knowledge I can about the world of digital marketing and talking about dogs as well, because who doesn't love fur family members?
Exactly. They are nice. So, and fluffy, and they lick you in the face.
But very much so. If you got the right one, even if it's not your dog, they will lick you in the face, which is a value add for any conversation.
Well, very cool. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing at Dog TV currently.
Certainly, yeah. So I'm the digital marketing director. And so I handle all things digital marketing, whether from placements on Facebook to our Google ad ranking, to optimization, to conversions, to our YouTube channel, which over 100,000, manage our social team where we have over 500,000 followers, our email team, our retention team. So sort of touching all elements of the business from a digital perspective to ensure that the message and the value of Dog TV is given to our core audience. And now sort of with the onset of COVID, working with some of our cable partners as well to deliver a digital message and smart digital advertising to that right customer at that right time with the right message.
Very cool. That's great. And so I was curious. I kind of gave a teaser, but tell us a little bit about how this kind of the studies about the dogs and the colors and all that stuff.
Certainly, yeah. So many years ago, probably 10, dogs were unable to see TVs. It was a form of media that was outside of their spectrum of how they see and perceive the world. We all know dogs have a wonderful sense of smell, pretty obvious. If you drop a piece of steak on the ground, your dog's right at it. But they sort of, with the onset of digital televisions, dogs were able to see this medium that we as humans, binge and watch, way too many hours a day. I don't know what the average is in America, but it's, probably 6 or 7 hours, and probably even more so during COVID. Maybe it was 12 hours a day. So we love it. And so given the onset of technology, just like any great innovation, technology allowed our dogs to start enjoying this. About 8 years ago, the founder, Levy, noticed his cat, ironically, was watching the TV. So he designed some content for the cat, figured out, wow, my cat loves this. He's more calm, more relaxed. He's more entertained. I come home, he's not manic. And then he, after that, really decided, let's go into the marketplace, figure this out, worked with some of the top behaviorists and people doing studies. And there have been, since the onset, about 70 studies talking about how dogs see, what are the differences, what do they like to experience, what do they like to hear. And Dog TV was created. We have 5 patents protecting the technology. Anywhere from the music is all composed, especially for Dog TV, to be in line with the octaves that dogs hear. All of the imagery, the visuals are adjusted to the dog's color spectrum. They do not see in black and white. That has been, that's a misnomer. That's why all toys are different colors. They can see your toy, I promise. And they actually see in blue and yellows. So if you want your dog to see something, get them a yellow toy or a blue toy. You'll see it way better. And they sort of can be enjoyed. So Dog TV has entertainment content, which is what you'd expect. The bouncing balls across the screen. It has relaxation content, which is just like our relaxation content, very calm, beautiful scenes, let the dog relax. And then one of our patents is for exposure content. So it's giving your dogs that sneak preview into the world around them while they're sitting on their couch. So car rides, vet visits, going to the park, anxious situations that can be calmed down with exposure, just like it would happen with all of us. You know, if we have a big presentation, we practice. That's exposure therapy to the situation. It works for humans, works for dogs as well.
Oh, that is really fascinating and interesting. So, is there like a lot of different channels within Dog TV, or is it kind of a one channel stream type thing?
Yeah, so we have excellent question. So we have we call it the live feed, and this is a 24/7, 365 feed of this content set up in sort of blocks of time. So you might open it up and there's relaxation content. 20 minutes later, it's going to switch over to exposure content for 5-10 minutes, and then off to the entertainment content. So that's most people turn that on, but we also have certain blocks of time that if you want your dog to recover, if your dog's recovery from surgery, which is a prime example, turn on the entertainment content or turn on the relaxation content, excuse me, and it's a 4-hour block where your dog is just going to relax and chill and hang out. And we also have started to, in the last year, develop pet parent content. So during COVID, right when it started, we talked to the nation's top veterinarians to talk about how to deal in the world with pets and COVID. What does it mean? What is happening? There was a couple of dogs, I think it was less than 10 worldwide, that developed COVID symptoms. Wow. And so they were getting headlines and people were fearful, and there was a rush to return, or a fear that people were going to return dogs. Like, I can't have this dog that's picking up all these things and I can't sanitize my dog. We know now that was very rare cases. So yeah, we were developing some of that content and putting it out there on the channel. We have the dog chef. There's actually several chefs in America that are specialized on dog treats and dog entrees. Wow. So we have some of those cool examples. You can make your dog a doggy cupcake, or my dog loves our doggy sushi. So we've sort of developed additional content, more training tips for pet parents as well. But majority people turn it on. It's a nice relaxation. It's a nice easy button for when you leave the house. A lot of people do turn on radios and televisions, but as we all know, the radio and especially TV is not a consistent or reliable form. And if you've ever watched TV for longer than 20 minutes, you know that those commercials are very loud. Yeah. And have no standards of what they're going to do. So, I mean, you could turn on the Weather Channel and they could do a 3-hour special on lightning. Like, what if you're like, it would be, and we hear about it all the time. People are like, well, I don't need dog TV. I turn on the Weather Channel. I mean, you're checking the programming every single day on the Weather Channel, making sure there's not a lightning special or, cars crashing special. I mean, you're going to give your dog, there's potential to give your dog some severe anxiety versus turning on a channel that has been trusted, vetted, and even, some of the nation's top vets trust it for their own dogs, and they actually prescribe it to dogs that are in the area, especially now that we're home alone with our dogs. I mean, our dogs need some entertainment.
Wow. That's fantastic. Yeah, I can see a dog just freaking out. There's lightning storms for an hour and a half right in his.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you put on the radio, there's going to be ads. There's going to be games and buzzers, and even some of the, we have some Spotify playlists. So those are really good, but that gives your dog one element, just the sound and the visuals. If your dog loves to play ball and he sees a ball on the screen, he's going to follow it. And then just like with everything, you're going to have to get your dog used to it for the first time. I mean, you took him on the walk the first time. It took you a little while. They need to be educated on it as well, just because their natural instinct is not that. But it's a lot of fun to watch dogs all over the world watch dog TV.
My brain goes to thinking like in 3 years they're going to be running around with VR glasses. Mm-hmm. And running into tables. It's going to be a mess. But
yeah, no. Nowadays, a lot of dogs have those. They actually have fitness trackers. There's a handful of them, very popular, and it gives the dog sort of the same peace of mind that it gives the human, and that's sort of where dog TV plays in as well. It's a part of the engagement journey for your dog. I mean, if your dog was inside all day, didn't do anything, kind of a boring life. But we as pet parents are are obligated to give our dogs the best life we possibly can. We just think dog TV is a good element to that during those times that, you're on a podcast or you're listening to a podcast or you're working and your dog wants you to play. Go turn on dog TV for a couple of hours. He'll be distracted. You'll get your job done, and then you guys can be together.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's creative. I like that. So, what's your number one marketing channel for dog TV? Just out of curiosity, kind of.
For us, because we are a streaming platform,
Yep.
Our biggest one is actually on platform. So we have an app on Roku and Amazon, and those are sort of our biggest marketing channels, just because we can reach our consumer at the point of determination.
Yep.
And with the remote in the hand.
Yeah.
And obviously we have some very large streaming competitors, Disney Plus, Amazon, Netflix. I mean, these are big companies.
Yeah.
With big top line dollars. And then they also have, content with, Hollywood actors in them. Real tough to be on Jimmy Fallon when it's, you're competing against the latest Netflix special or the latest Disney Plus special.
Right.
But when you have your remote in your hand and we remind them that their dog needs this type of engagement and it's available with a click away, it's a very easy consideration. We have a 2-minute sort of watch first video that says this is what this is about, sort of my pitch to you at the beginning of this podcast. From an industry expert, from a professional. We lean on the best industry experts we can possibly find to make sure we're delivering this best content, because, when 1 million dogs a month trust your channel, you want to make sure what's on that screen for every second is tier 1, passes the muster. And when vets are, prescribing dog TV to their dogs, their dogs that are in their office, we want to make sure that we take that trust. We don't take that trust lightly.
Okay. And how do you grow your YouTube channel? Because I know you'd mentioned you had one for dog TV.
Certainly, yeah. So that has been, I would say, I think YouTube sort of falls into one of two categories. One, it's dedicated and you are a YouTuber and you have content for YouTube. And then the other one is, put your videos on YouTube. And so very admittedly, we've played in both camps. There are some, there's some free content on YouTube. That's a guy in a park with a camera, and he's like, "Oh, this is the same as dog TV," which it's clearly not. No science, no patents. Who knows if the dog can see it? And so we've negotiated back and forth on how do we play on that channel. And for us right now, where we play on YouTube is showing our expertise, showing the value, and showing how dog TV is above the imitators, and then first in the industry as well. So we have our veterinarians that prescribing dog TV. We have our industry professionals talking about how to use dog TV. We're giving tips on dogs who have anxiety and certain ways to deal with that. So I think that it sort of becomes this journey from giving everything you have away for free, and hopefully people will pay you for it eventually, but who knows when and how, to establishing yourself as an expert in the industry, an expert where you're at, and then having that simple path of we're the pro. Once you're done with those other guys, come to me, and we'll be able to help you and to deliver whatever value add you have.
All right. And I hear Fluffy in the background.
Yes, I'll get him inside.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, no worries. Did you need me to pause and grab that, or?
I think my wife is on the way.
Okay.
Good. So. All
right. What is off platform? I know you said Roku and whatnot. What's I'm trying to think what I'm trying to say, but what's off platform? Like what other avenues are you using to bring in new customers? Certainly.
So I think our social is certainly a big element of this. Instagram, Facebook. Those are certainly bigger elements for us. There's a huge dog population on there, especially with dogs with their own Instagrams. We partner with them to deliver that message and to really show use cases of it. I think a lot of people, when they see like dog TV, wait, who is this for? What is this? Is my dog going to watch it? Some of those value adds, and without saying it's for your dog, it's this, you can show somebody who they agree with and believe in on that top line awareness of dog TV, showing the dog, watching it, sitting there, tail wagging, having fun for hours. So I think our social footprint is certainly a substantial element of our marketing. And then we do solve a problem in the industry, whether anxiety or entertainment for dogs. People are always Googling or going on Pinterest to find solutions on my dog has anxiety. What do I do? And because we are prescribed by medical professionals to help calm minor anxiety, then we certainly play in that space as well of Google searches, people looking for a solution. They don't want to try, pharmaceuticals. They don't want to try CBD. They want a natural approach. Dog TV is a perfect natural supplement to what you're doing, or first place to start. Like, oh, my dog has anxiety every time I leave. Let's turn this on and we'll see what happens 6 hours later. You come home, your dog's sleeping in front of it. It helps mitigate it. I'm not a medical professional. And if your dog has severe anxiety, always go to a certified behaviorist or a veterinarian. I would recommend both. Both are going to help you. It could be a physical issue that your veterinarian needs to help with, or it's a behavioral issue that a certified behaviorist can deal with. So,
okay, awesome.
Not prescribing anything, but
right on, awesome. And I'm sure everybody's wondering, what's your dog's name? That's important.
Very much so. So I love alliteration. So my dog's name is Mickey Mouse Meyers. And we love Disney too, so it works on 2 levels.
There you go. Nice. I like it. And what are your kind of revenue sources? Obviously, you got the subscription model. Is there other revenue streams that you guys have going on?
Yeah. So our primary is subscription. We also do sell some supplemental products on Dog TV.
Okay.
And then we do some co-marketing with brands as well on introducing their product to our dog audience in certain elements. Sometimes it's cross promotion with big mobile companies, or sometimes it's hey, we'll offer this. We did a cross promotion on a anti-anxiety medication, anti-anxiety pill for dogs with more severes. So you might have Dog TV, or you try it out, but your dog, your dog has more severe anxiety. There are some on the counter medications. So we've partnered with them in the past as another revenue stream.
Yeah.
But primarily the business is the streaming channel, similar to Netflix, Disney Plus.
Okay. And if somebody wants to track you down, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Head over to LinkedIn. You can look me up there.
Awesome.
Just as it's all spelled as it sounds. Hang out, and if you see a dog TV next to it, you found the right guy.
Awesome. Is it dogtv.com, or what's the URL?
Yep. So dogtv.com, I would say, is like the easiest place to kind of learn about the channel. And again, anywhere you stream. So if you stream Netflix, or you can download our apps, iOS and Android, Xbox, Samsung TV. And we have a brief explainer video there of like what this is, what it's not.
Okay. And is there like a particular like type of say Facebook ads or Pinterest ads or Nextdoor ads, or what's kind of where you see the most traction as far as advertising?
I've been doing digital for 10 plus years, 15 years, whenever Google allowed the first Google ad, I think was maybe the first. It was 2008, I think was when I started. And for me, the best one is the one that's layered in the most touch points or the most data. So if I can reach a customer 6 times versus reaching them 1, I will always win with 6. It is not a question. It will win with 6. So the best ad is the one with the most data behind it, audience, segment, time, or touch point. So I think our all-time best ad unit we've ever ran was a UGC, so our customers using the product, done to a very particular audience, done after they visited a particular page on our website.
Okay.
And it was just a very like, it was this audience going to this page about this issue, and they needed that solved, and we got them there through a very basic Google ad on the search history. So they kind of went to the page, and the page was designed to educate and talk about this and really show like people like you love products like this. And then the social ad really confirmed that.
Okay.
And so it was I think anybody in digital looking for a silver bullet is gonna be looking for a really long time. You need to, I would say, kind of build a silver pyramid. Like you can't just build the one.
Yep.
You have to build the system. I mean, it has to be, you know, that first touch point has to lead to the second touch point, has to lead to the third touch point. You know, on digital, it's, you know, 3 or 4. I've heard up to 7 to be effective. And if you think about in your own life, that's how it works. I mean, you don't usually make a decision of any consequence after one ad.
Yeah.
And so I don't look for a silver bullet. You're not gonna find it. I have clients, you know, I used to run an agency myself, and I had clients be like, I need to run one ad to turn my business around. I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And then the other part is always focus on micro conversions, and the macro will take care of itself. So what's your homepage conversion? Okay, if it's 0.15%, okay, maybe fix that first before you start driving, you know, 100,000 site visits to it. You're obviously something's broken. Yep. What is that, you know, impression to click rate? Okay, maybe there's something wrong with your messaging there. Like if you focus on like run an ad and sell a product, you know, that's gonna be a tricky thing, or you're gonna have to get a ton of top line. And unless your product is very, very expensive or very, very valuable, or, you know, everyone wants it and, you know, you have a commodity, I mean, that's a different conversation. But most people selling commodities don't have problem with the marketing. They just have problem with pricing, because people are buying their things enough. They don't have to worry about the marketing.
Right.
They're worrying about distribution and pricing. It's not the marketing. No one's like, you know, I didn't see a lot of toilet paper ads in the last 4 months. I mean, they were, most of the toilet paper ads were, hey, we're giving back. I mean, you're buying all of our, but we're giving back. I mean, it was PR and marketing. It was not, you know, so I think focus on, if you're in an industry, you know, where you have to market your product, it's not a commodity. It's not something that people, you know, are, you know, required to buy.
Yeah.
You know, focus on building that golden, you know, that silver pyramid, and the micro conversions within the macro conversation, because you'll chase your tail every time if you're focusing on macro.
What's an example of a micro versus macro, just so if people don't understand?
Yeah. Certainly, yeah. So a macro would be ad sale. Micro would be ad, clicks, page views, page traffic, time on site, clicks to, you know, conversion, or like add to cart or buys. And then after that, it's, you know, checkouts, you know, how many abandoned carts you have. And then it's remarketing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, I want to sell an ad, and I want to place an ad and sell the product. And there's just this whole disconnect that you're missing on, like, I told one of my clients, you know, I was talking to a distributor, someone we were working with, and I was like, if the conversion off our landing page increased by 0.05%, we would have sold, you know, it was like 5x on that promotion.
Wow. Yeah. It makes a difference.
Massive. It was huge. And it was just, we focused 0.05%. That was it. That was the difference. And because the numbers were so big, we were dealing with a major pet food company, and they had an email they sent out to several millions of their clients. And at the end of the day, we got, you know, a very low percentage of that. And I told my team, I was like, if we don't focus on that 1%, that's the difference between a comma most of the time. I mean, like almost every, you know, 1, 10, and 100. I mean, there's not a huge difference between those numbers if you don't care about them.
Yeah.
But if you said, oh, 100% of my ads sold or 1%, I mean, you should care.
Yeah.
So I think focusing on, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, especially when they hire agencies, they focus on the macro because they think the agency is focusing on the micro. If they are not performing, go one layer deep with your agency. Just go one layer deep. Just go, okay, I gave you $100 to run an ad. You sold one thing. Okay, that's the top line. Go one layer deep in there. How many people clicked on it? Oh, one person? Oh, cool. I mean, that's pretty solid. That's 100% conversion.
Yeah.
Go run 1,000 more of those. It's not bad or good until you know the micro numbers. It's just a test market. It's just a sample size that you're dealing with. But once you know those numbers, and you don't have to be a crazy mathematician or know all the percentages, but you know, big numbers good, small numbers bad.
That's a good way to break it down simple so people can understand. So, and how important is the follow-up process? Like, is there a certain process you guys go through that seems to really increase, later conversions?
Yeah. So follow up in regards to like remarketing,
remarketing. I don't know if you have any sort of like ongoing customer relations type communication.
Okay, yeah. So I'll answer both. So the remarketing side is really important. I am a big proponent of sort of Gary Vee model of like punch, right hook, a jab, right hook.
Yep.
Of like deliver value. Because you've delivered this value, you told me you like it, here's the sale. So a lot of our remarketing efforts are set up that way. A really easy way is to do it on social. Social has become sort of this like hit or miss platform. Some people on social will just like, it's like try to be a billboard, and some people try to do the jabs. And social has told us numerous times, and they will continue to tell you, it's not a billboard. You want a billboard? Pay for a billboard. Billboards cost money. Engagement, you play by our rules, we'll give it to you for free. So either one, you can do either one. Just know that they control, they're in the back of it, pulling all the strings. So you're not going to trick Facebook. You're not going to pull one by them by making a billboard. So long story short, on social, engage with your audience. Engage them with things that are about your brand. That are entertaining, enjoyable, funny, silly, thoughtful, thought-provoking. Like really engage them, and then hit them with an ad to sell them the product that solves the problem that you're engaging them with. Like we engage our audience with, the love of pet parents. How much do you love your dog? More than anybody else? Anybody that clicks yes on that, target audience. All day long, I can mop them up in the remarketing. I mean, they've said, my dog is more important than anything in my life. Okay, so is your dog's entertainment more important? Yep, cool. Start a free trial. Like you can't set that up. That's the data behind it. So I think that's the first part, is like engage them properly. So then the remarketing is easy. If you do billboard here, you're gonna be you and your best friend, or you and your wife are gonna see it. That's it. No one else. Like it's pretty common. They're pretty good at it. So that's the first element, is like set your audience up with the right top line, and then the remarketing becomes pretty easy in there, given that jab, and then the right hook lands way more. You just focus on right hooks all the time, you're going to swing and miss. I mean, that analogy is pretty pure. And then for us, we are a subscription service. So our audience and our pack members are essential. We have a full-time person that their entire job is to keep our pack members happy. So whether that's sending them birthday gifts, we have a birthday club, whether that's partnering, we partner with Kong on National Dog Day, and we gave all of our members a Kong toy for free. They just had to fill out a form, and we send it off to them. This month, we're doing an exclusive Q&A with a trainer about holidays. So we're inviting our annual members to an exclusive Q&A. They're able to sit down with one of the nation's best trainers, world-renowned, who actually I think has a show on Discovery coming up. And so she'll talk to our pack members and our dog moms about the holiday tips and tricks, things you're not able to find or Google, and ask specific questions to them as well. So I think for us, it's once you're sort of a pack member, we want you for life. We want your dog to love it. We hear stories. We've had a couple of people send us over some tattoo ideas they're going to get for dog TV because their dog loves it. Some of our hyper enthusiasts, they get their dog a TV because of dog TV. I mean, it became first like, I go to work, I turn TV on, and then they came home from work and the dog was like, I'm not a huge fan of Grey's Anatomy. Can I go watch my show? And they didn't have a TV, and so they get them that not essential, not needed, but it's a lot of fun to see those super fans. One of my favorite ones is there was a border collie, I believe in Texas, and they live on a large piece of property. And anytime, so the border collie in the morning does his business and goes to enjoy this half acre this person has, and then the mom, all she has to do is open the window, turn on dog TV, and no matter where on property the dog is, zoom in, jumps on the couch, jumps on the bed that's next to the TV, sits down, and then like their day starts and they enjoy and relax and they have fun. And the mom, heads off to work and gets home. The dog's there, safe, sound, and gets to explore, kind of the city. So our audience, your audience has to be your number one priority.
Yeah.
You can't keep filling the bucket when you have a big hole in the bottom. It does not work. I mean, unless you sell a product that people buy only once in their lifetime and these people don't have friends, I mean, focus on your audience. Like it is, I can't think of an industry that the audience isn't important.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great tips. And can I tell the story about how we met? I think it's kind of fun.
I love it. Yeah.
So
very prevalent. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was sitting at a Starbucks one day, or Caribou Coffee, and I hear this guy and he's talking digital marketing, and I'm like, wow, he's saying this right, because I talk to a lot of people that are marketers, quote unquote, and they kind of just have this generic stuff they talk about. And he was going into details, and I was like, wow, this guy knows his stuff. Yeah. Like, I feel like, he sounds like something I would say, to answer questions and stuff. And I was like, wow, this guy's really, really deep into the marketing. And I was really impressed. And then I think I just walked over and I just kind of said, hey, you must be in marketing or something. I don't know. Do you remember what I said? I don't remember what I said.
Yeah, it's actually, I don't know if it'll be timely when this is in market, but it was actually, I was doing some being a consultant for a political candidate at the time. And I heard her platform and I was like, hey, I want to help out. I can certainly, dial for dollars and knock on phones, but I have this other skill set. Are you interested? So they said, sure, let's meet, let's talk. Yep. And so I go into the, kind of what I've talked about here and a little more in depth about their website and social and email and some of the value adds there. And you walked over and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I do. This is my background. And you know what you're doing. And they're just like out. And I was like, I promise I didn't set that up. I have no idea who this guy is. I gave you my card, you gave me yours. We exchanged some pleasantries, and I ended up, I don't know if I told you, but I ended up working on their campaign, and they got elected.
Nice.
And they passed, I think she recently passed some legislation. She was a doctor, and she recently passed some legislation on insulin, because some of her patients were actually dying because of insulin. They weren't able to get it.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what encouraged her to be a state representative. And she ran one term and did some really good things. And so I want to say it's all thanks to you. I think that sure. Seems appropriate placement, but it was a fun time, and something I continue to do is to consult for politicians. I think it's a value add, and I think politics is, the purest form of marketing. I'll leave it at that. But on the top line, in recent years, usually you'd go to the polls and by the next day, who win or lose. And for me, that's the purest form of marketing, is people making a decision on a paper. They have to decide left or right. Yeah. You usually don't get that clear of numbers in the marketplace. So I find it addicting now. So if you're a politician listening to this, reach out to me. It's a lot of fun. It's a side project, side hustle, but it's a.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's when we're recording this, by the time it gets out, it'll be later, but yeah, we're right in the middle where it's like, Biden just barely took the lead in a couple states right at the end after several days, and that's crazy. So
it'll be a couple months.
yeah.
I think it'll be.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go to court. I mean, they have to play this out for the crowd. So
hopefully it's resolved before he's supposed to end his term.
what day is that?
I think it's January, right? Something.
I don't know. Yeah,
I can't remember inaugural day, whatever that is, but
yeah, I assume it's the same day. I assume it's like the midnight of, like.
Yeah. Anyway,
I assume there's maybe a crossover day because it's like they don't get. Maybe there's an official, like, maybe that's just like the ceremony is just like the ceremony, and then like literally on the morning of he's the president, and then he just like, swears in.
Yeah.
We can't have like 6 hours with like no commander in chief. I mean, that seems like a really good time to attack us.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Clerical arrow. Let's do it between noon. Let's before noon, guys. They can't declare war.
Oh, man.
Assuming they have a full day of transition.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So if especially anybody in the dog industry, reach out to Joe, because he's got all kinds of insights into that industry, and I know you did some other pet industry stuff prior to this position with Dog TV. And
yeah, it's about 5 years into the pet industry. I absolutely love it, and as everything, there's a silver lining. The dog adoption and new dogs in homes right now, the numbers are coming out and they are astronomical. They're in the millions of new dogs. And for anybody who's in the finance world or investment world, the dog industry was creeping at about 5 to 7% year-over-year growth for the past 10 to 15 years.
Oh, wow.
It was just steady, going from 69 billion and just kind of creeping up. The estimates are now over $100 billion industry.
Wow.
For the pet industry as a whole, and that's a little bit of a caveat, there's about 60% of that, 40% of that in veterinarian, and about another 40% in food. But that's still a huge opportunity and an emerging marketplace, and a ton of new customers who are willing to. The dog culture now it's not the dog culture of 20 years ago. It's, if you know anybody with a dog, or you go on Instagram and just put dog in there, these are members of the family. These are children. These are people who have classes. I know friends that their dog goes to school more than my son goes to school.
Oh, wow.
Like 3 days a week, they're physically in a school on education and training and tips. And so the marketplace is gonna, I would say, the next 5 years, 110 billion or more or greater, because of other factors as well. So it's a growing industry, and relatively safe as well, because dogs still need to be fed and sheltered and cared for, despite anything else.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much, Joe, for being with us today. It's been a great show. It's a lot of good things to learn from you with your expertise, and I'm sure, I know I learned a lot, and I'm sure everybody else did too. So, but thank you so much, and we'll probably have to have you on again here sometime.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jess. Thank you for hosting and for sharing this education. It's so important. I think we have the ability nowadays to have a lot of information at our fingertips, but not a lot of education. So I appreciate when people are genuine about informing individuals, giving them the tangible skills, and not just a bunch of information, because Google, anyone can Google anything, but the tangible education is super, super important nowadays. So thanks so much for what you do, and I look forward to being on again.
Awesome. Thanks again. And everybody go check out Joe on LinkedIn, Joe Meyers, and make sure you like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, and give some good reviews for the show to keep going on strong. So thanks again. Have a great day, everyone.